Hello and welcome back to Jongo. In this video, I'm going to make one of my favorite drinks. It's the Kentucky Mule, and it's a not so traditional Moscow Mule because I like to use a Kentucky bourbon. I'm going to be using Wild Turkey 101 this time, and that is my bourbon of choice to make the Kentucky Mule with. It's a 101 proof bourbon, and so it has a little bit higher alcohol content. It's 50%. So it makes a little bit stiffer of a drink. But the reason that I like it is because you can really taste that whiskey flavor in the Kentucky Mule. So I have a few things here, a few ingredients. A very important ingredient is a 100% copper mug. Don't get one of those mugs that is not 100% copper. They have brass mugs. There's mugs that say that they're copper, but they're really like coated on the inside with kind of a chrome material or something like that. Make sure when you get your copper mugs that they are 100% copper, because when you add the ginger beer, there's actually a reaction that happens between the copper and the ginger beer. Excuse me. Ginger beer. What I use for ginger beer is Barrits ginger beer. I will never use any other ginger beer other than Barrits ginger beer. I just think it's the best. It seems to be a little bit sweeter. You know, I had never really looked at the nutrition facts before, but there's only a couple hundred calories in there if you're into that. But very good ginger beer. I would never use anything else. And then basically I have a lime. Inside my copper mug, I have filled it up almost all the way with ice. This is a 22-ounce copper mug, by the way. Sorry, I keep cutting my head off in the video. I'll try to stay back a little bit. But yeah, so I filled up the copper mug with ice, so that's another ingredient. And I have this lime here. I use a whole lime. And then just a couple of tools. I have a lime juicer and a drink mixing cup here. So I actually use the lid that comes with the shaker that I'm using to mix, and that's what I use to measure my alcohol. So that's what I'm going to do first. There's a little bit more than a shot in there. I actually measured it out one time. It's less than 2 shots, but more than 1 shot, so we'll call it 1.5 shots. How about? Okay, I just fill that up to the top and go ahead and pour it in my copper mug with ice in it. I spilled a little bit there, but that's okay. I did not spill very much. Okay, and then the order of things isn't necessarily very important here, but I'll just go ahead and take the lime and I'll cut that in half and juice it into the cup as well. One trick with the limes, if you know, if they're not extremely ripe, or just in any case with the limes, if you roll them on the counter a little bit and just kind of roll them out, it kind of breaks up some of the fibrous materials inside and helps the juice come out of the lime. So I'll just cut that in half with a knife and get my lime squeezer here. It's actually a lemon squeezer, but it works for limes. I actually almost exclusively use it for limes in my drinks. Okay, there's one. And I like to use 2. Sometimes when I'm, you know, running low on limes or something, I'll just use a half of a lime, and that'll work pretty good too. But definitely a whole lime, getting the juice of an entire lime in there really helps with the flavor. So there's that. And then take your Barrits ginger beer. I can't stress enough how important it is, in my opinion, to use Barrits. I think it's the best, but I'll use about half of that. And really, the point is you just fill up the cup the rest of the way with the ginger beer. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can cut up a slice of lime and stick that on the edge of the cup, you know, if you're making these at parties or something. Okay, so that kind of bubbles up a lot, and it wouldn't really do that if you were using a traditional, you know, vodka or something. So there's something with the ginger beer and the bourbon that makes that happen. It doesn't really affect the flavor, but it's just kind of an interesting thing that I noticed. Alright, so I'll go ahead and take that and my drink shaker, and I'll just pour that once in there, and then back right into my copper cup. And that's it. It's ready to drink. Oh, and that's delicious. The flavor of the wild turkey, like I said, really comes out in this drink. And if you're a big bourbon or whiskey fan, the Kentucky Mule is really the way to go if you're going to have Moscow Mules. Of course, I like a normal Moscow Mule as well, but in the summer, Kentucky Mule definitely wins out for me over a traditional Moscow Mule. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe. And I'll put some links below in the description if you want to follow me and other social media as well. But please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I'm just trying to build this channel right now. So.